Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center, man. So I'm gonna do this video a little different. I'm coming at y'all with this Saints versus Falcons recap. So I'm doing the first half of this video is going to be a recap after halftime and what I've seen, because I've seen some things and I kind of want to be able to elaborate on that, and then some things that they could do forward going into the second half, and then kind of do it so on and so forth. So basically, first off, I want to say to all the people who was killing me and tearing me up in the comments in my last video, I am a Saints fan, and I did speak blindly about things in a certain instinct, right? So we're going to briefly touch on that Eagles game, right? So the biggest thing from what I was hearing with the commentators that hurt us in that Eagles game was that we was not able to get the run game going. So by us not being able to get the run game going, the Falcons was able to stop, not the Falcons, but the Eagles was able to stop our running game without having to bring in an extra safety in the box. And when they bring in an extra safety in the box now, that means you have a single high safety. And in a single high safety set, you have looks deep wise in terms of Shaheed and Olave that you have, because 9 times out of 10 that single high safety, depending on who he is, unless he's an Earl Thomas capable safety, is not going to be able to get over there and help most of the time, especially with dealing with that type of speed. So that's one thing that hurt us in that game, was that we wasn't able to establish our dominance in the run game. And I know a lot of you guys were saying, okay, if we had Taysom Hill, and look at the impact that Taysom Hill has had. Taysom Hill has scored out only 2 points, 14 points. He scored out both of our touchdowns in this game. Now, the disheartening thing is that he went to the halftime. He went to the locker room early before halftime even started. So now that's the thing: is he 100% healthy, and is he going to be able to come back into this game? Because if he's not able to come back into this game, that's 14 of our points right there that might be off the board. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I've seen. Also, I kind of took some notes on. My biggest thing too is that with Derek Carr, I'm realizing that Derek Carr isn't the best under pressure. And that's why I was saying what I was saying in the Cowboys games. I didn't do a pregame breakdown of that. But the thing that was going to help us in that game and in this game and any game moving forward, now that I'm learning more about Derek Carr, is that he's not good under pressure. So how do you combat that to deal with a quarterback who's not the best under pressure? You have to design plays that allows him to get the ball out of his hand quickly. Allow him with the ball in his hand too much and having to make rational decisions when you got a defensive line collapsing on him, that's not the best. That's not where you want him at. And that's not where he's best at. You have to design plays to get the ball in space and allow our playmakers to make plays like Shaheed, and I seen they did that a few times in this game. So then also, my thing was this. There was a call going into halftime that I did not agree with also. That was Matthew Judon's call. They called with him on the offensive lineman. I guess they were saying it was unnecessary roughness. I mean, it's football at the end of the day. I didn't see nothing dirty. I didn't see anything malicious there. So that right there, I don't necessarily agree with. And that's one of those things I agree with Tom Brady in terms of them trying to regulate the game. At the end of the day, man, this is still football. So we have to allow it to be that. Now, one of the things that I noticed too, right? So my biggest thing was the turnover battle. So I'm going to kind of read you guys the first half statistics in terms of that first half battle, right? So we go down to third down efficiency. We are 2 of 5, and the Falcons are 3 of 6. Fourth down efficiency. We're 1 of 1. We went forward one time. We got it. The Falcons are 0 for 0. They haven't went forward. Total plays, 35, us 26, Falcons. So it's kind of been even in terms of the time of possession. No team has really dominated the other. Sacks allowed. Neither one of us has really hurt in terms of allowing sacks. Punts. We've punted twice. They've punted twice. So it's kind of even there. And penalty yards, right? Now, the Falcons have hurt in penalty yards. They got 6 penalties for 56 yards. We only got 1 for 5 yards. Turnover battle. We have, 2 turnovers, a pick, and then Derek Carr and Shaheed muffing that point. Now my thing is this, okay? When I looked at the turnover battle, so I was looking at this. So you got Shaheed who muffs the point. That leads to automatic points for the Falcons, right? That's 7 points right there. Carr throws a pick 6. Guess what? Again, under pressure. That leads to another 6 points by the Falcons. So now we find ourselves in a 14-0 battle in terms of the turnover ratio. Now, Cousins threw an interception to a Debo, which eventually led to 7 points. So now we're 14-7. So my thing is this. When you look at the Falcons are not playing a good game of football, and we're still struggling. The Falcons plays, their points have come off of special teams, the muff point, and a pick 6, and they're still beating us. They're hurting themselves a lot in penalties. 6 penalties for 56 yards. They're still beating us. So my thing is this, guys, we have to clean it up and play a more even and clean game of football. You know what I mean? Because if you're looking at this game should even be close if you're going based off of the time up, you know, with the penalties, turnover, yada yada yada, right? You take away those 2 points, you take away those 2 penalties, they haven't even put any points up offensively. But in a situation, why should they if we can't capitalize and we can't do the things that we need to do on the offensive side of the ball? Fumbling balls, that should be within our control. Ball security, right? Turning the ball over, being under pressure, that should be the things under our control. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is things aren't even aligning for the Falcons to represent the 17-14 lead. You know, so my biggest thing is that by it being 17-14, we have to come in and establish the run game. My thing is I have a big question mark behind Jamal Williams because since Jamal Williams has been a New Orleans Saint, I have not seen any productivity out of him. Now, he had a lot of hype behind him because he had, what, 17 touchdowns the year prior? Did he sign with us? I always tell you guys, a lot of things are smoke and mirrors, and I think that that's one of those things right there because if the offense is constantly getting to the goal line and handing you the ball off, it's easy to get 17 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? It ain't like he's actually making something happen out of nothing. You know, it's freely walked in touchdown. So how good are you really if you're going based off of that metric? So I haven't seen any productivity out of him. We need to be able to get productivity in the run game outside of Kamara. We got that with Taysom Hill. We don't know if Taysom Hill is coming back and playing this second half. You know what I mean? So my thing is we have to establish the run game. Defense keep playing like you are. And Derek Carr, you have to get better under pressure. Stop freezing up. Stop tensing up. If you got to take the sack, take the sack. If you got to roll out, roll out. I seen one play he did. He didn't have nothing downfield. So guess what he did? Rolled out. That's an easy 5 yards. Live to fight another day. Stop trying to force things under pressure. Even when you look at the play, one of the last plays going into halftime, when he threw the ball to Shaheed and they were saying they think the ball was tipped, it sailed on it. Because of what? The pressure. So my biggest thing is that we got to establish the run game. And Derek Carr, you have to make smarter decisions under pressure, man. But like I told you guys, man, this is going to be a split video. So I'm going to do the first half, then I'm going to come back with the second half. So I'll see y'all in the second half at the end of this game. Just like I told y'all, man, I'll see y'all at the end of the game. Man, this game went pretty much exactly how I figured it. Everything that I read in the beginning of in that first half breakdown in terms of us, you know, in terms of them being one-sided, in terms of penalties and penalties yard, in terms of them not even scoring no offensive touchdowns, just touchdowns off of a muff punt, touchdowns off of pick six. Like, they did not play. It baffles me because I want to understand, how do you play a game that horrible and still come up and win? Now, granted, this is something else I want to show y'all too now. There's something else I want to show y'all too. Let me make sure now. I just want to double check. There's something else I want to show y'all too. What's that? Y'all might say, Rob, what you want to show us? Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? I don't know if it's focusing. But that is a 33-16 win by the Buccaneers against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Now, I still got the video playing in the background, and the Saints just did the bull crap throwback thing. For one, I want to know, why do they have Jamal Williams back there on kick return? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. You know what I mean? Why don't you have another athletic guy back there other than Shaheed? You see what I'm saying? So, man, I'm so, like, first we're gonna finish off the game. We're gonna finish off, and like I said, I like to break down the game into 4 different categories, and that's turnover battle, penalty battle, time of possession, third down efficiency. That's what I like to break the game into. So, breaking the game back down. This is what we're gonna go with. I'm on the wrong one. Hold up, y'all. Give me a little second. Give me a little second, man. I know it's a little unprofessional. It's all good, though. It's a little unprofessional. It's all good. Y'all bear with me, man. Bear with me. Bear with me now. So, we're going to go down to team stats. So, first downs. We dominated them. 25-13. And how you still lose that game? It baffles me. Third down efficiency. We dominated them. 7 of 13. We were. 4 of 11. They were. Fourth down efficiency. We went forward twice. We only got it once. They never went forward. Total plays. 70 we had compared to their 51. How do you lose that game? Like, we're going to skip the sacks allowed. We both only allowed 1 sack. Punts. We both punted equals 3. Penalty yards. Now, we did come back up and kind of, compete with them. We had 6 penalties for 60 yards total, and they had 9 penalties for 76 yards. Now, granted, what did I tell y'all? When did those penalties occur? One of those penalties occurred in the fourth quarter, that pass interference call on Paulson Adebo. Now, let me break a little something down to y'all too, right? Urban Meyer breaks down how to attack man coverage, and he calls and it's a thing called finding the fish. What's the fish? It's a mismatch defensively that we like in terms of our receiver going against their DB. And we all know that Paulson Debo now is that find the fish. Why do they keep leaving him out there? I have no idea. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to get out to that. So now we're going to go to fumbles lost. You know, obviously the turnover ratio. You know, we turned the ball over, twice, Derek Carr interception, and Rashid Shaheed fumble. Kirk Cousins threw one interception to Paulson Debo. I think that was pretty much it. I don't recall them fumbling or anything like that. So we're going to go down to the time of possession now. We dominated. 35 minutes and 42 seconds total to their 24 minutes and 16 seconds total. How do you still lose that game? I have no clue. Now, this is something I'm starting to learn too about the Saints, and that's how I'm in this video off with. I'm in the video off with this. So I got a list right here where I kind of broke down some things, right? And it's like how to stop the Saints. So I'm going to show y'all the mediocrity and the stagnancy in that offense and show y'all that what it was showing in those 2 games against those subpar teams is not the actual reality of that offense. So we're going to go back to, so we're going to go overall. When you look at the Saints offense, when you look at the passing game in terms, right, where do the Saints hurt you in the passing game? Down the field. There's nothing underneath. There's no in between the numbers. There's no nickel and diamond, 4 yards here off the pass. If we are doing that, it's to Kamara or it's to Taysom Hill. But in terms of Olavi and Shaheed, that's not nothing consistently, right? So what does that tell you? Most of the passes that the Saints throw to either 2 of those guys are going to be probably past 20-some yards. Let's just be honest with it. So how do they establish success with that? So if we're able to get out and establish a run game earlier with Alvin Kamara, and you've seen the success we had with Taysom Hill in the first half, right? Now teams say, okay, this is what we're going to do 1 or 2 things. We're going to believe that we can hold strong up front and eventually make some key stops down the line, or we're going to have to drop a safety down in his box and put an extra man down there. Now, this is what happens when you do that. You drop the extra man in the box now, right? Now you have a single high safety. If you got a single high safety and you got matchups on the outside with 2 speedsters or even a trips on this side with two speedsters, it puts you it puts your defense at vulnerabilities. Right? You see one thing that the Saints do a lot of times is that they'll send one of the guys out on the streaking route, and when he clear and draws the attention deep, they'll send the other guy up underneath. They've done that a couple times this game. But when you have a single high safety, it's hard to be in the middle of the field and say that I'm going to get here or I'm going to get here if they go vertical to help contest that deep ball. Not a lot of safeties can do that. So that's what the Saints benefit off of is that, but it's all predicated off the success of the run. So if they don't have any success running the ball, 9 times 10 they're not going to have no success passing the ball. And if you want to see if that's true or not, we're going to go to the first. We're going to go to Rashid Shaheed. First week against the Panthers. 3 receptions, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Then we're going to go to Alvin Kamara that game. 15 carries, 83 yards, 1 touchdown. I didn't do Taysom Hills, but I'm pretty sure they had a steady run game, so it was evenly balanced. So now we're going to go to the Cowboys, Rashid Shaheed. 4 receptions, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Now we're going to go down to Alvin Kamara, 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. I didn't put Taysom Hills in that one. So now we're going to fast forward and we're going to go to the Eagles now. Against the Eagles, Rashid Shaheed, 0 receptions, 0 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara, 26 carries, 87 yards, 0 touchdowns, right? Now you take away Taysom Hill in that game, so it's really just one-sided. He wasn't having too much success. And then that success could have been shit time, rushing yards. That was later on in the game, once the game was pretty much decided. You see what I'm saying? So that kind of shows you that. The touchdowns that I think Shaheed had, I ain't gonna say don't think, the touchdowns that Shaheed got, Shaheed has 2 touchdowns on the season, right? So what are those 2 touchdowns? They were deep, explosive plays down the field. It wasn't nothing nickel and dime or throwing the ball here and he makes something happen. It was straight vertical routes. So that's what I'm saying. If you can stop the Saints running the ball for the most part, it's stagnancy there. Now, offensive line-wise, the guy who they had on the right, I don't know who he is. I know he probably wasn't a starter. But my thing is this. Why did the Saints keep going to that side? We had success when we ran opposite of him. You keep running to the side with Matthew Judon, and I forgot the other guy who was causing havoc in the backfield every play. So now you're not putting Alvin Kamara in the best positions to be successful. So once again, 2 weeks straight, we start the season off on fire against mediocre teams. Now we run up on 2 teams that has somewhat, and I can't even say that the Eagles are just that good because look at what the Buccaneers have done to them. You see what I'm saying? But I would say the Falcons, for the most part, is a pretty good but they played a horrible game of football. That's what I really want to get across. How do you play that horrible of a game and still win the game? Like, it don't add up to me. So when I made my last video, a lot of Saints fans was attacking me, yada, 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 this, that, and the third, right? I'm all about being honest, right? I'm a Saints fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing, and I'm not going to downplay anything. If the Saints aren't playing good football, they aren't playing good football. And those 2 games that they did play lights out football, look at the teams they beat. Now, ask me this, Saints fans. Are the Saints still going to the playoffs? Ask me that. Are they still going to the playoffs? Because if we can't beat the Eagles, we probably ain't going to be able to beat the Buccaneers. And we see now that the Falcons beat us by playing a horrible game. So let's just say they did play a good game of football. I'm just saying. Something that I realized about Derek Carr too, and we're gonna get down to his stats to a certain degree. We're gonna read the first 3 games. He went 19 to 23 for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in the Panthers game. Sorry, defense. He goes 11 for 16, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception against the Cowboys. Okay, defense. He gets 14 for 25, 142 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception against the Eagles. And now we're going to click on this one now, since I'm already got it pulled up. 28 for 36, 239 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. One thing I realized about Derek Carr, he is not a championship caliber quarterback. Because of what? He cannot perform under pressure. He can't. The best way we have success with him is getting the ball out of his hand quick. Because if he has to sit back there a little bit longer, he cannot fold. He cannot handle that pressure. That's not who he is. He's shown us that with Las Vegas. Now he's showing us that with the Saints. You see what I'm saying? So that's just my take. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Again, if y'all think that I'm talking bull crap, then feel free to comment that. If y'all agree with me, let me know. Okay, I agree with you. You might have missed this, or I agree with you, and this I think didn't affect. I'm all for that. You know what I mean? But I just want y'all, just like me as a Saints fan and as an analyst, I'm gonna be 100, and I'm gonna be 100% unbiased with it. I'm not going to say that the Saints are this and that and make up excuses for why they're losing. Because there's no excuses. It's all about execution at the end of the day. And they are not executing in these last 2 games. And you don't get credit for executing against 2 teams that's sorry, in a sense. That it's not a complete team. That's just my opinion, you know what I mean? But that is it for this video, man. If you guys did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell where you be notified every time I upload, man. I got these videos dropping week to week, and I'm going to start coming at y'all with a week-to-week Saints video. I might start doing a pregame and a postgame, so stay tuned to that. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out this thing. Peace.